This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Welcome to Rush of Fear Podcast, where we chat all things Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Destinations and Experiences premiere scare event. Tonight, for episode 5 of season 6, we will be jumping back into the history textbooks with HHN 2006 and a special guest. So now, let the mayhem begin.
What a rush of fear.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Happy April. Happy spring, which is great. The rain has come. The snow is melting away. And Florida, from what I hear, is very hot. Tonight with me, I have, of course, my co-host, Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth.
Hello. It's actually been not super hot right now. Like, the rain has been coming in and it's been kind of cool out. Yeah.
Ooh, very nice. I looked the other day and it was
Isn't that
80,
weird?
and I was like, oh, man, it's like 25 degrees here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Florida, Michelle is not with us tonight. Not because she didn't want to be, but she is actually in Florida at the moment, hanging out at Universal, and for her first time covering the Swamp Haunters University of Florida haunt event for the spring. So next episode, you're going to get Michelle telling us all about her experience at Swamp Haunters. I'm very excited. I'm so sad that neither of us can go this year, but very excited that Michelle
Yeah,
gets
I know.
to go.
Yeah. It is cool that she'll get to see it. And it's weird that the reason she can't be on the recording is because she's where we normally are.
Yeah,
You know?
it's very, very silly, very strange.
I was going to say where she came down to us, but you're not here anymore. So it doesn't really work
Yeah.
as well as I thought it would.
That's true. Yeah, it's okay. But we have a special guest with us today. We have Gary.
I know. And
How's it going? Happy to be here.
hey, returning guest.
Returning guest. I can't remember the last episode I did.
You were here when they announced not The Last of Us, the video game from last year, the show on Amazon.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And we in the transition of the tracker.
Which I've neglected so far this year for the first I keep forgetting to do it. The first house announcement.
Gonna have to take it back.
Yeah.
Gonna have to take it. No, it's all yours.
I'll get it out there.
All right. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Very excited to talk about this year, as it was my first year ever going to HHN. So it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, as we've been doing these history episodes, I've just known in the back of my head, like, I know that Gary's first year was 2006, so I feel like it'd be fun to have you. So I'm glad that last night at band practice, I just looked at Gary and I was like, hey, are you free tomorrow night?
And I was like, sure. Yeah. What else am I going to be doing?
Right. So here we are. Easy.
He lives.
Well, before we get into all that fun stuff, we just have a couple of housekeeping items. So remember that we've got the Rush of Fear Society membership, which is always available. It's just $5 a month or $50 for the whole year. And thank you to all of those who renewed for the second season. And for those who are on the fence, just a reminder that our members do get access to our bonus content feed, along with access to the Society Discord, our watch-along episodes, all that stuff. So the link can be found in the show notes of this episode or on our Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Rush of Fear Pod. So come join the fun. And also, if you could, please follow and subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you prefer so you don't miss out on any of our episodes. And while you're at it, leave us a rating and a review. It would really help us out, and we'd always love to hear from you.
Yes. And for more general Universal Orlando Resort news, make sure to check out our friends and UUOP Network hosts over at the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, wherever podcasts can be found. I'd love to wish our UUOP parents a happy 15th anniversary, because
that's true.
The podcast just had its 15th anniversary yesterday, which is crazy. Like 15 years is a very long time. I can't even what was I doing 15 years ago? And they started a podcast. How cool. But
True.
and now it has grown. We are the UUOP network. There's so many of us. I'm going to read them off to you now. Go and check out the Theme Park Duo, Portkey Passport, the Taste of Universal podcast, the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast, Big Dumb Stuff, the Theme Park Throwdown, and as of just last week, our very first YouTube channel to join the family, Fudge Factor. So check out everyone. We're all doing lots of cool stuff, talking about lots of cool things. While you're checking out all of our network friends, also check out Kenneth's band Pangolin everywhere you listen to music online. Kenneth and Gary's band, since you both are here tonight. Follow them at Pangolin FL. And do we have anything to announce, share, plug, band or otherwise?
Yes, we do, actually.
Yeah.
Today, we announced, today as of recording, so a few days ago as you're hearing this, we decided to go live on Twitch, live streaming every Tuesday night. And so that'll just be us doing whatever we're doing, whatever we're working on, whether it's practicing for an upcoming set or writing new songs or just jamming or whatever. Tuesday is now band practice night, and we've decided to include all of you in it.
Yeah.
Gary, anything to say about it?
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, this band group edict, if you will, to make sure that we're getting together more regularly as we've got a lot of stuff to work on. We've landed on a consistent, solid day each week, and we're like, you know what, we want to share that with all of our friends. And also this kind of puts more pressure on, nobody can bail, because if you bail, you're not there for the live stream for band practice, and we're going to make fun of you the whole time. The remaining 3 band members. So, yeah, it gives everybody a lot more incentive to make sure we're there working on music. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some cool stuff. And a lot of fans of this show will be happy to hear that we're going to be doing some giveaways too, which includes like some very rare HHN memorabilia and merch. Like if maybe you're a big fan of HHN 18 or HHN 17 and you'd like a very rare poster from that event year, well, if you tune in to twitch.tv/PangolinFL, hang out with us, you might get a chance to get your hands on one of these weeks coming up. So big incentive for the listeners here on Rush of Fear. So tune in, hang out. Pangolin
Guys,
FL.
Yeah.
That's
This is-
so cool.
It's called Pangolin Hangolin.
Yep. Called Pangolin Hangolin.
Because you're just hanging out with.
Yep. Pangolin Hangolin every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
That is
And we're
awesome.
actively working on a new album. So if you tune into this, you're gonna hear these songs kind of come together. And then when you hear the album, you'll be like, I was there when they were figuring this out. So
Yeah,
it's a very cool thing.
You're going to be able to get to say that song sucked like 3 months ago, and it really came together. And I got to watch it happen.
Yeah.
You're going to get to see how the sausage is made.
In the room where it happened,
Yeah.
to quote Hamilton.
If you want to be
so
in the
cool.
room
That's
where
right.
it happened, virtually anyways. If you'd like to also be in the room where it happened, just hit us up. You're welcome to come hang out. If you can survive getting past my dog, you're more than welcome to hang out with us. He's a real jerk and he's mean.
Oh.
Yeah. If you can get past Gary's dog and across the river, you can come hang out with us.
Yep.
In the Pangolin studio.
It's like a quest.
Yeah,
Quest
absolutely.
for good music.
Anyway, that is new. So what the 13th is what day of the week? Is it I think the first Pangolin Hangolin has already happened. Well, the first one we did it a couple times like way back.
Yeah.
But the first one of this new run
is going to be this upcoming.
Oh no, it's tomorrow.
Tuesday
It's tomorrow as this. It was yesterday. No, yeah, the 13th is when this episode comes out. So yeah, tomorrow the 14th you can Pangolin Hangolin with us.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, tomorrow tune in. Have some fun with us. Might even win some HHN stuff. It's going to depend on how many people show up. So the more friends you can get to come hang out with us, the better chance you'll have at winning some cool HHN memorabilia. I recently was gifted a ton of HHN memorabilia, and I'm talking really cool stuff. I've got tons of like posters from HHN 18, HHN 17. I'm not going to be giving any of this away, but I've also got like props that were used in photo shoots for like Lady Luck at 21 and Bloody Mary in
Yeah, he was showing
2008.
off last night.
So I've got a bunch of extra stuff,
Man.
and I want that to go in. Yeah, the Pangolin Studio is more an HHN museum now than anything. So I've got a lot of extra stuff, right? So, and I want that to go to people who are going to
Yeah.
love it and are also fans of Pangolin. So
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, getting back into this episode, continuing our deep dive into HHN history, we're going to go back in time to 2006 and Halloween Horror Night 16, or Sweet 16, Horror Comes Home, which I happen to know it was Gary's first year. So I think we've already said that on this episode. I can't, sometimes what we talk about before recording and what happens on recording is the line is blurred. So I think we've already mentioned that this was Gary's first year attending Halloween Horror Nights, which is why he's here talking, hanging out.
Yes.
But yes, birthday parties are usually reserved for families and friends, especially one as special as a Sweet 16. Or in the case of Halloween Horror Nights, that family is a little different. To celebrate its 16th anniversary, Horror Nights decided to bring their icons together for the first time to celebrate. Jack, the caretaker, the director, and the storyteller all came out for the festivities. The houses and scare zones featured were remakes of some of the greatest houses in the history of Halloween Horror Nights. For the first time in 4 years, Horror Nights would return solely to its original home at Universal Studios, Florida. Sweet 16 also offered guests one of their first true glimpses of Cindy, the caretaker's daughter, in the house Scream House Resurrection. And old friend Robosaurus would also come out to celebrate, as he had not been seen in quite some time. The whole event was meant to feel like a return to the classic days of Halloween Horror Nights. Even the Dungeon of Terror would make a return. I think it's very funny to say, oh, we're going back to the old days, whereas this is now 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And a return to this, return to the old days, would be a huge return to the old days. But yes, the 2006 event was held over 19 nights from September 29th through October 31st, beginning at 7 p.m. every night and ending at either 12 a.m. or 2 a.m. A single night's admission rose to $59.95 plus tax, and the frequent fear pass also returned to allow guests to return multiple nights for one small fee. And once again, there were 7 houses. Before we get into these houses, Gary, tell us about your history with Halloween Horror Nights. What brought you to this year? Why was this the first year you went? Kind of your backstory on getting to this event.
yeah, so I mean, it was kind of a total fluke, actually. So up to this point, the closest I had ever gotten to a theme park was Six Flags Over Georgia when I was a kid, and we left early because my dad was angry they wouldn't let him smoke on the rides. So we left after a couple hours. So when I was in high school, a bunch of me and my friends graduating class, we decided, okay, we're going to take a trip down to Halloween Horror Nights. And I was like, cool, the Halloween thing, totally awesome. Had really no clue about like Universal that much, except for when I was a kid, like seeing truck stop brochures and stuff like that on family road trips. But so we took money from, you know, my job working at a pizza place and stuff, and all of us, we kind of gathered up money and we went. So we went down there, and it was cool. I had no idea there was even a theme park there when I went at the time. I just thought this was a place where Halloween Horror Nights was. So not just Halloween Horror Nights, but you know, theme parks in general. This kind of opened up a whole new world to me, and that's why I think also HHN is so special to me, because not only did it, you know, open this obsession to, you know, haunts and events and this, you know, love for it, but also theme parks in general. So that's how we ended up there. It was kind of like a graduation thing. Um, I had to skip the next year. I just didn't have the money, and there was a lot of stuff going on. I missed 17, and I regret it every day. But then starting with 18, I've gone every single year since 18, with the exception of 24. 2014 was a weird year for us, and we just unfortunately weren't able to fit it in. But I've gone every year, 16, and then skipped 17, and then since 18, except 24, I've gone every
Nice.
single year.
And then
So
Maddie, this is
cool.
before you started going, right?
Oh, so far before. And this was before I even knew about it, which also makes me so sad.
I only
Yeah.
went one night this year. This was my second year of Halloween Horror Nights. And this, I went with a group of friends from high school. I would have been in 10th grade here. And we were all still kind of scaredy cats about Halloween Horror Nights. So I only did one house. And I don't remember it that well, but I do remember other things about this event that I'm sure we'll get into. I already read one thing that I remember in the introductory blurb about it. But yeah, so I knew we needed someone who would know or remember more about more of the houses. So Gary, thank you again for joining us. And I'm sure it'll be like last week when I was recounting what little I could remember from 2005. Anything you can remember will be beyond what we can provide any insight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. It was 20 years ago, and I have not
Yeah.
treated my body and mind very well over the last 2 decades. So we'll see how it goes. I did start reading through like the wiki and stuff earlier today, which we're gonna go through each of these, right? And
Yes.
started kind of kicking up some of these memories. Caveat going into it: there's one house I'm gonna keep the hangers or the listeners hanging on their edge of their seat, but there's one of these houses I did not get to that night that we went, which I'll disclose that once we reach that house.
Okay. Well, let's start with this one. All Night Dyin', take 2.
This is the house I didn't get to.
Oh, I can breathe again.
Oh, oops. I know that long suspense. Yeah, so All Night Dyin', take 2. This is in Soundstage 23, and you'll enter to witness the vilest horror that has ever been spliced together by the director himself. So this is like a sequel house to the director's, home house from 2003 would have been the director's year, I believe. So just 3 years earlier. And it was kind of mentioned in the opening blurb but all the houses from this year are kind of like bringing back a classic story or location or, original IP that Universal had for Horror Nights, and kind of either putting a new spin on it or putting a new character in it or just revisiting. So I do like that idea. And we've kind of seen that in 25 was kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that ever, I like those kinds of years. So we'll see if we get another one of those years coming up.
I know. I would love for us to have something like that this year for 35. But this was an interesting one because it was more so in relation to like actual movies that were out, like horror movies, and not parts of Halloween Horror Night. It was just through the director. Like the director was the tie-in. So our favorite website, Halloween Horror Nights Wiki, Halloween Horror Nights .fandom.com, says that there were 4 movies inside the house. It was Scream, The Ring, Hellraiser, and Silence of the Lambs. So going throughout the house, you would see scenes from those films, which feels crazy because
in an unlicensed, unofficial way.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is the one where people were saying like, oh, we've had Scream before, but it wasn't really like it wasn't a full house. It was just a moment inside of a house. So maybe one day we'll have a Scream house.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
So we by the time we got around to getting to this house, it was really late in the night, and we had gone, I want to say it was like mid-October sometime when we went. And I guess by then, like, the word had got around, like, oh yeah, this is where, you can see, Ghostface and The Ring and Hellraiser and all this stuff, and like the line for it was like crazy long, and
Ooh.
we were not staying in Orlando. We drove over 4 hours that day to get there, and we were driving back home that night, and it was already like after midnight. So we
Oh
were
my
like,
gosh.
okay, I don't know if we've got time to like wait in this line. So we ended up ultimately skipping it. And because we didn't really think anything of it. Like going into it, we didn't even know that it had all these like, IPs in it and everything. We were just like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be like, some, fun movie house maybe. I don't know. We were all just solely going based on the names of the houses. We weren't like checking the websites and like doing all this stuff. We weren't really like, I think there was one kid in our group was like super into it, and he was trying to explain to us stuff, like my nerdy self would do now if it was me going with a group of people. And he was trying to explain stuff to us, and we were just like, nah, whatever. And so we just decided to skip it at the end of the night, unfortunately.
You're like, shut up, nerd. Who cares about this Horror Nights stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. I would have yeah, that Gary would have beat this Gary up probably.
Look at
So,
us now.
yeah, but that Gary was broke. And I'm not. So he can shove it. That Gary was working at a pizza joint. He's not gonna tell me nothing. So
That's very fair.
So any interesting details in the wiki that we should highlight?
Ooh. Well, it makes sense that you wouldn't know that there were any like actual movies inside of this house because the signage for this house is just a big picture of the director's face. So it makes sense. Let's see. We have a giant group photo. It looks like 4 ghost face characters, a couple of pinheads, some scary girls from The Ring. Ugh. I am not the biggest fan of the Ring movies. I think they're pretty awful. A really great photo of the scene where Ghostface is in Casey's house at the beginning of the movie with Drew Barrymore. Very fun. Not too many pictures of the inside of this house, but of course, just like always, everything will be posted on our Instagram and Twitter. And who knows, maybe I'll even put pictures in the recording of the episode when it's posted as well, like I have been doing. But yeah, not too many pictures of the inside of the house, just kind of going through. The main photos are of the Scream section. So we have the girl sliced in half by the garage door. Nice. So all night dying.
Nice. Okay. And yeah, we don't have any firsthand accounts. Sounds like it was a pretty straightforward, just recreating some of these moments from these movies.
Yeah.
But now on to the Dungeon of Terror, which is, as you may remember, the original Halloween Horror Nights house. And it's enter an old roadside haunt housed in the Jaws queue, where the storyteller's whispers beckon you deeper into hell. So this is a Dungeon of Terror starring the storyteller, which was the previous year's icon. And yeah, Dungeon of Terror. I would love to see that make a return, another throwback to the original days. But Gary, what can you tell us about this house, Dungeon of Terror Retold?
yeah, so I remember a little bit about it. I I remember there being this year like a lot of themes of like industrial stuff and industrial feeling stuff. There was some cool stuff that I remember from Dungeon. I want to say there was like some blacklight effects within this house that kind of made it feel very like roadside kind of attraction-y. And I think that was like the overall like vibe of like, you're going through this thing. It's a roadside attraction, but it's like a real, thing. So,
Right.
so just kind of picture that, like how you would, typically a mismatch of different like, scary things, right? Um it 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 was kind of a mixed bag of stuff, but the overall theme was a lot of fun. I like really kitschy kind of, roadside attraction-y stuff. And if you liked, like some of the parts of like House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff, there is kind of some was like a little.
Oh right, yeah.
I want to say it was like a little reminiscent of that, just in some of those parts. So that's about all I remember of this house, unfortunately.
I'm looking at the pictures on the website, and the first picture I clicked on, I was like, oh, this is just the House of a Thousand Corpses. And then you said that, and I was like, ah, yes. I thought correctly. Yeah, it's just a bunch of random people in flannel shirts and denim and overalls, and they're covered in blood, and they have on all different types of masks, but not like, I don't know, kind of like Death Eater masks where each one of them is different and it doesn't really cover their whole face, but some of them are like a porcelain doll, and then one of them is a gross pig guy. But also Roadside Attraction feels correct just by looking at some of these pictures. Very
Yeah,
strange.
you could take this house and put it in Pigeon Forge across the street from the island, and it would fit right in.
Yeah, there's one image that's really giving like that Scooby-Doo dark ride at one of those small regional theme parks.
I love those. Every time that the fair comes
Yeah.
into town, even if I don't do anything else, if the fair came with a haunted, like a haunted house, I'll
Mhm.
make it a point to go there to check those out, because I just love how like goofy those are. And they're tons of fun. The audio is always like completely blown out.
Yeah.
And it's like very disorienting. So I love that.
It
That kind of
adds
stuff.
to the experience.
You're talking about like the little rides?
Yeah, like the little rides,
The
or
little,
like
like,
the
traveling
little
carnival rides?
walk through fun houses. I love both of those. There's always
Oh yeah, the fun houses are a
I was
blast.
gonna say there's always a skeleton behind a cage with a strobe light.
Mm.
You can always bet on that being in there.
Very true, very true. Nice.
All right. Moving on to people under the stairs under construction. That was in Sprung Tent 2, which is where this past year we had dolls.
Mhm.
So welcome to Home Sweet Hell, a house so demented that even the incomplete walls bleed.
Ooh.
And I believe this is like a movie, and this was one of the first IP houses that Universal did in like those original like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I think the rat lady was in this house way, way, way back when. Like you walked.
Oh, maybe. There's no telling where she was.
Over her. There's like 3 photos, and not a single one of them are from the inside of the house. So, and like the description for the experience of the house, let me just read it to you real quick. It'll take me like a minute. This house was the second and final time that Universal used the mining helmets used the year before in the terror mines. Allegedly, about every 12th person got them. However, the house was reportedly too bright for the light helmets. There was a scare actor hiding under some stairs in one scene. Wow. Scenes in this house included the table saw room, the bathroom, the kitchen, the basement, and the finale. The captive children in the house had small flashlights. They would shine at the guests. There was also a room where guests would be shot with a shotgun that would spray them with water. Good golly. The shotgun
Oh my God.
spewed smoke and caused the shotgun sound effect to play. Makes sense. Scare actors including the kids under the stairs, mommy, and daddy. The finale had around 10 scare actors, each with tools that made a loud noise. That's it.
Nice.
Gary?
Gary, what do you remember from this one?
Yeah, I remember this house being very unremarkable in my experience. The mining helmet thing, I don't recall seeing that at all. So I don't know if just that night they weren't doing it, or I was too preoccupied to notice it in any way, or maybe just thought, oh, these tourists are wearing some funny hats. But I don't remember that gimmick as part of my experience with that house at all. The overall feel of it was very I guess like domestic, if you will. I feel like a lot of it was, interior sets and felt kind of generic in terms of like just people bloodied up or made up to look bloody or creepy. I don't remember like any distinct characters from this house. Sorry, I have the hiccups. I don't remember like any very distinct characters from this house, but going back to it now, this is one of those that I would love to experience, like if I had a time machine, right? There's always
Mm.
you always have like your wish list, like, okay, if I could go back in time and experience things to see how was Universal executing on IPs then, what were they able to achieve
Yeah.
and stuff. Because I don't remember enough about it to know like how, like, yeah, it was spot on, those stairs, they looked like the stairs, or anything like that. So I'd love to go back and see something like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any distinct memories of this particular house, except it was spooky house. There was a big themes of spooky house and industrial throughout this event that I can remember.
Those are two themes that Universal does love.
Yeah, they love spooky house and industrial. I think they should do an
Yeah.
industrial spooky house where
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Texas Chainsaw kind of feels like an industrial spooky house.
You know what? You're not wrong. It does kind of feel like an industrial spooky house, because who has a big metal sliding door like that in their home?
Yeah, that's very industrial.
Yeah.
True. Well, continuing on with the rest of our houses, we have, I mean, I guess this would be under Spooky House as well. Sprung Tent 1 housed Psychopath, the Return of Norman Bates. Unlock the door into macabre nightmares of a psychological killer named Norman Bates. Yep.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, once or twice.
He's pretty popular character from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I do wish I had done this house, because it's a classic film.
Fair.
I've visited and met Norman in Hollywood and seen the Bates Motel in the house, but never got to experience it as a haunted house, so it's a bummer.
They should do it again. I don't know. They should
Yeah.
definitely be doing it in Hollywood. I don't know why. Like, I like that they use the Bates Motel facade in Hollywood during the Terror Tram for like the different themes they do, but I would really love if they would just do, you walk through the Bates Motel, Norman's popping out at you, you like get to go up to the house, take the picture. One day.
Yeah, it's a shame
you get to take a
that
shower.
there hasn't been another representation of Psycho in some kind of way. I mean, it's a Universal IP. It's a beloved IP.
Yeah.
I don't know. I may be biased because I just finished watching the Ed Gein Monsters on Netflix, but so I don't know. I'd love to see Psycho make a return.
Yeah. And it looks like the facade for this house was pretty cool. This is the other sprung tent, the one used for what was the name of that house last year? The demons and cowboys.
Oh yeah, Hatchet and Chains.
Yeah. But it looks like they built a little facade like you're walking into the lobby of Bates Motel, and there was a really cool blue neon sign, just like in the movie and the TV show and all that. But from pictures of the inside, there's a picture of the lobby, and that's it.
Yeah. I remember this blowing my mind, right? And I think this was kind of the point in the night. I think we were like 2 or 3 houses in. It was like starting to really get dark. We were really starting to like get our groove and stuff. And this is where it all started to kind of click for me of like, oh, this is really cool. The pictures don't make it look as impressive as it felt whenever I went through it for the first time, because I felt like I was going in like this full, in my mind I was like, oh, they did a full recreation of the Bates Motel. And then you go back and look like at some of the pictures, and it's like maybe a 20-foot wide like facade recreation in front of a sprung tent. Like, what was I seeing, right? Because I didn't at the time, like it didn't feel. And it makes me wonder like how some of the casual guests feel doing this, right? Because like at the time I don't remember going and seeing a sprung tent. I just remember going into the Bates Motel, and it was the coolest
Yeah.
thing I had ever done in my life up to that point. That sounds really sad. But it makes me wonder about how other guests are experiencing horror nights. Us, we're kind of jaded to the fact of we know how the sausage is made. We know there's a sprung tent there. We're obsessing over the location of every house every year. But these casual guests are people who are just doing it for the first time. They're getting their minds blown and then getting turned into absolute, delightful little freaks who obsess over the event like we do every year. So I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to look back on this now and kind of see where my mindset was and compare that to, how folks are experiencing it, today.
Yeah. And I also think it's a testament to the creative team and how well they do everything that they lay their hands on. Like it's so impressive that we are at this point 35 years and we are celebrating those 35 years, not just like with the coolest IPs that we could get. No, we're celebrating those 35 years with the lore and the history that the fans have lifted up and made this like fantastical thing. I feel like we've talked about it on every episode of season 6 so far, with like it being an anniversary year and the direction they're taking it. But like, it's so cool because like you have this memory of going through Norman Bates. I have a similar memory of going through the Shining House, HHN 27, my first year, not knowing that I was going to become what I am today, like within the Horror Nights community. Like it's really cool. And I'm happy that we all have those kinds of moments that we can look back on and like pinpoint, oh, that's the moment I knew. Like it's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. It's
Yeah.
so great when you can pinpoint your exact moment that you got hooked on a fandom,
Yeah.
and for me it's this house. This is the house, this and Run, because we did these, I want to say we did these two back to back, which we'll get to that later in the show. But yeah, this was where it all started. So it's really cool to be able to pinpoint that.
Yeah.
Funny enough for me, that moment for me isn't until the next year, 2007. So it wasn't until my third year of HHN where I think that what awakened in me happened finally. Yeah, it's weird. I went 2 years before it clicked.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. And I think that's okay. Like everyone has their own, and you've also mentioned like
I'm not ashamed.
yeah, you didn't do a lot your first 2 years. So I think, it makes sense that your real experience comes from a year that you potentially did. I mean, we haven't gotten to it yet, so I don't know, but it could be the year that you did more and you like actually had your eyes open to like the event that you were going to.
Yeah, and you were a big scaredy cat.
Right.
You were getting your bearings and stuff.
It's true. It's very true.
And I'm sure Michelle
Gary, would you say this? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just
Michelle
gonna say, I'm sure Michelle would have the same kind of like sentiment as you, because she's mentioned before she did the first 2 years with her eyes closed. So, like, it's just I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were gonna ask a question, Kenneth?
Gary, yeah, do you think in your memory, like, was this a good representation of the movie Psycho in this house?
I mean, it might be kind of wearing, star tinted glasses, right? Because I was just caught up in the spectacle of it. But I remember it being really cool. I remember it being really feeling like you're kind of walking into the Bates Motel. But it does this really funky like shift, I think, in the middle of it, where you go through like they had the tunnel. That was my first time ever going through a rotating tunnel.
Oh, cool.
By the way,
Oh.
bring that back. If anybody in creative is listening, we need that back.
Yeah, we do.
I don't drink anymore.
What a weird house of all the houses in this lineup.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything. Like, that's the only high that I get, is going through a rotating tunnel at Halloween Horror Nights. And you guys take that away from me. I don't appreciate it. But I remember it being a really good representation, especially of the Bates Motel portions of it. And then doing this, like kind of really artsy, kind of elevated mental thing, with like Inside the Mind of Norman Bates and stuff. So yeah, I think I think given the amount of material that you have to work with as Psycho, I think it was a great kind of representation of that.
Just reading the like description of it, it sounds like how they did Poltergeist, where it was kind of like that abstract
Right.
abstract creative thing. It does mention the revolving tunnel. It says after entering the motel, guests would go inside the lobby where Norman Bates would greet them. They would then go through various offices and then enter Norman's crazed mind through the revolving tunnel. Guests would enter scenes depicting floating knives and eyeballs before entering a closet filled with the clothes of Norma Bates. The final scene of the house represented the shower scene.
Yeah, it's almost like
Ooh.
an interpretive dance, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
material you have for Psycho kind of takes place within um almost like a singular location, if you will, right? So you to make a full house out of it, you got to take some creative liberties. I don't know, if I was to go back and do it again now, I might be like, okay, well, this might not be great, but I remember it being pretty trippy and like
Mhm.
psychedelic in that regard. So
That's cool.
Weird. I
Kind of
love
like
it.
the Exorcist house was very, had to extract moments into whole rooms.
Mm. Yeah.
I love it when a house does that because I love it when when they announce an IP like that, and in your mind you're like, how are they going to do this? And now the
Yeah.
more that happens, it's like, okay, I can't wait to see how they do this, because they're going to take it and elevate
Yeah.
it and do an interpretation of that, like they did with Exorcist, and
Yeah.
Poltergeist, etc. So those are always kind of fun because you with houses that are a more flesh out IP with a lot of scenes and a lot of iconic moments and stuff like that. You have a pretty good idea going into it where you're like, okay, they're going to do this scene, they're going to do this scene, they're going to do this scene. Like Terrifier, I clocked everything in that house before I even went in there, right? But for
Yeah.
stuff like that, you're excited because it's almost like an original house, because you're like, okay, there's a lot of room for interpretation here. What are they going to do with it? And those make for a really fun house, almost like an original house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was the last time we had a revolving tunnel? Was it Beetlejuice?
I think it was
I think it
Beetlejuice.
was.
Yeah,
Hmm. That was a good use.
we need a revolving tunnel tracker for all the houses with the revolving tunnel.
Yeah.
Silly. All right. What is our next one? Let's see. We have Psychoscarapy Maximum Madness. Step inside Shady Brook Sanitarium in Soundstage 22, where Jack is up to his dirty tricks.
I remember the word of mouth about this house around the park was that it smelled terrible in there.
Ew.
Yeah,
Boo.
they had a poo room.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, well, I mean, they had a poo room. It was a bathroom. I do remember that distinctly because genuinely, like when you smell that like fake poo smell in a HHN house for the first time, your senses go into fight or flight. Um, you don't really know what.
It sticks with you.
Yeah, yeah. It and sticks on you. I feel like that
Mm.
smell kind of carries with you. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was unpleasant, but the rest of this house was really cool because, um, what I remember of it, it was basically like an insane asylum, right? Um, Obviously, Shady Brook and whatnot, Jack and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of um residents having been killed and that type of stuff, the stuff that you expect from like Shady Brook Asylum, or asylum based type haunts. um I want to say there was like an element of, I mean, there was Jack the Clown in there a few times at least, I think. um but I also think like the patients were like clown people too,
Hmm.
and
Oh.
or some of the patients were, at least. I want to say there was like patients that also like had clown makeup, like almost like they were Jack's army or something. So I'm guessing, I don't
Right.
know, I haven't read through the backstory or whatever, but I'm assuming it's probably something to do with well, I read through it a while back, long time ago, when I did a similar retrospective to this somewhere else. I can't remember, but um, I want to say it's something like Jack basically took over the asylum, and so he had like all these followers, and that's why they're dressed up like clowns too, similar to like the Joker taking over Arkham Asylum or something like that, right? Um,
Right.
Yeah.
so
Well, and the same thing happened with Chance 10 years later.
yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
that seems like that was kind of inspired by this. It seems like so that's interesting, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a lot of rooms of you're going through the different parts of the asylum, and there's people like being tortured and killed by the patients, and Jack's there, and you know, kind of your standard asylum fare, if you will.
Yeah.
Better than Hellblock Horror, I would assume.
I refuse to accept Hellblock horror slander. I'm on an island there, but
I also liked Hellblock Horror, but many don't. That was just the first prison / sanatorium one that I could think of.
yeah.
It there's absolutely no pictures of the house. It's just pictures of like
Oh.
the website announcement. But there is one picture of the facade. And now I don't know. I would assume based on the labeling that this is the facade for this specific year, because I know Shady Brook has come back throughout the years. But man, it's gorgeous and big and like life sized. And it will be on our Instagram for everyone, including Kenneth, to see.
Yeah, I remember it
Yeah.
having a cool facade. I can't remember if this a soundstage house. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. 22.
Yeah, so okay. So yeah, I remember there being like a big facade for this one, and it looking pretty cool.
Yeah. It says throughout the haunted house, guests would be thrown into the chaos of Shady Brook Asylum as the inmates dressed in clown makeup wreak havoc on everything. The famous dirty bathroom scene, complete with smell, from the previous house came back. The house also included more scenes of carnage and mayhem, some featuring Drac himself. At periodic points, the asylum's electricity would power down. Pop Goes the Weasel echoed throughout the darkness, and Jack would laugh and speak through the sound system. Soon after, the power was restored and the chaos resumes. That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, Pop Goes the Weasel is so spooky. I don't like that.
Is it the pop part or the weasel part?
It's just like for me, the scariest part of any horror movie is children or things relating to children. So like children's toys.
Yeah, children in
Yeah.
general
Yeah.
are horrifying.
Yeah.
Just the idea of them having to be responsible for them. You know, they're constantly have something on their hands, constantly
So
sticky,
sticky. So sticky.
jam hands.
Oh goodness. This house seems so cool though. And this parts of this is what they brought back for HHN 25 and that house, maybe? Those who went. Correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Ooh.
So that I think it had the same facade, did it not?
Of Shady Brook?
Yeah.
Oh, for reflections of the past or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, because that was basically the body collectors going to Shady Brook, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like a prequel because we saw Jack and Eddie as babies when they were born in Shady Brook.
Yeah, they had their little face paint and masks on.
That's so
babies.
funny.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't actually, but that would have been hilarious.
I don't know. I didn't go through. I would have believed
yeah,
you.
Like a babality in Mortal Kombat.
We've seen it's like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Like they still have their classic,
Yeah.
accessories on,
They were born with those
even though they're
accessories.
babies.
Yeah, that's what I like to think.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, we've seen Shady Brook as a facade a few times, at least 3 that I can think of, including this one. So I've seen it twice probably, but yeah, this seems just like a classic good idea of like a mashup. This is a year I really wish I had done more because so many of these ideas are very fun.
Okay, moving on to our next house, we have Run, Hostile Territory. This house was in the disaster queue. When the lights go out, the voyeurs suddenly become the victims.
So this one really hooked me, right? So like I mentioned, the two houses that we did kind of, I think, back to back, is what ended up like really hooking me on stuff. And this was another one of them. And I think a lot of it had to do with, I think the movie Hostel had just recently come out. I think it was like even the year before.
Yeah.
So that was still like really fresh in everybody's mind. And this house was basically like Hostel. Where the idea of it was basically like millionaires pay to go like torture and kill people and stuff, and it was very like industrial warehousey kind of vibe. A lot of plywood, a lot of pallets, a lot of stuff like that.
Construction.
Yeah. So like real seedy looking, right? So like this house, just like the idea of it, and also like the Norman Bates house. These two houses is what really like hooked me in, and I was like, okay, I'm all about horror nights now. It was a lot of fun, because it was this whole, oh, it feels real, and they really did a good job doing it. I remember this house being like really gory too, like extremely gory.
Ooh.
So, and a lot of like, like torture, and I feel like there was like even water in this house. So, I mean, like blood, like I feel like I got sprayed a few times in this house. I also remember there being a really kick-ass like heavy metal Q video or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, showing like horror and gore from different horror movies and scenes and stuff like that, like before you enter the house, and it was like heavy metal playing and stuff, and it just like really amped up the intensity going into it. But yeah, this was one of the ones that really hooked me on the event as a whole.
That heavy metal pre-show like spoke to you directly.
It did, especially at that time. I was very much in the world of heavy metal. So it was a lot of fun. It felt like it was tailored to me.
Dang. Yeah. It says the Q video showed clips from movies such as Hostel, Saw, and Videodrome.
Yeah.
And soundtrack included parts of the Hostile soundtrack, Fear Factory, Bite the Hand That Bleeds. Wow, words are really hard today. Mundave, Forget to Remember, The Poison, and Pieces. Those are all either songs or artists. It's not really super descriptive that were in the queue.
Sounds about right.
But this house was Eddie's house.
I was saying Run is like Eddie's series. Like if you see Run, then it's Eddie's involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would love for Run to make a comeback of some kind, just because I'm a huge fan of dystopian game show-esque things where they could result in death, like the Running Man, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Yeah.
Specifically. I mean, the book and the new movie with what's his name, something Glenn Powell, is that him?
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, that was good too, but I don't find as much excitement in the book and that new movie as much as I did the Arnold movie, because like that was very campy and kitschy and like spectacle of this game show and all these like crazy cast of characters and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And where like the stakes are really high and it's really like gory. Well, not gory, but like the it's a game show that could result in death. It's very dystopian thing, very much a commentary on like where our society is heading as terms of like entertainment and stuff like that. And
right.
I'd love to see Run kind of make a comeback, because I feel like that would resonate nowadays. Like have it with like streamers
Yeah.
and something to bring it into the modern age or whatever.
Mhm.
Several movies have done that,
Yeah,
like
true.
Spree and what have you, but like that type of overall vibe, I would love to see it come back in some kind of way, like modernized.
Yeah. With your understanding of what the run like houses are, or like what the run storyline is, especially with Blood, Sweat, and Fears in 25, like how did this kind of fit into that idea, this hostile territory?
I feel like this one was kind of almost like a side, like Eddie's side quest, right? Because it feels like the original run and Run, Blood, Sweat, and Fears were very much in that like game show esque component of it's a deadly game show or whatever, and Eddie's at the helm. Whereas this felt like this is Eddie's side quest where he just has a side business where he lets millionaires pay him to come in and like torture people to death. And I think in a lot of the materials that they released alongside it with the website and stuff, like they released stuff like invoices of Eddie buying like power tools and stuff like that. Like all
So silly.
yeah, like all this silly stuff that went along with it. So it just very much felt like a side quest, for Eddie, a side business, not really part of his game show. He's like, I need to figure out a way to diversify my portfolio. Let me take a look at this
His
business.
version of like joining DoorDash or
Yeah.
Instacart.
Yeah,
He lost the joy. He lost the joy in the game show,
right.
and so he just had to, branch out.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it for the love of the game. So he
Ugh.
Yeah.
wanted to find another outlet for that, and so it was the hostile deal.
He like forgot why he forgot what made him fall in love with the game in the first place, and so he
Yeah.
had to venture out and then rediscover his love before bringing it back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
So like 9 years later, for 25,
Yeah.
he comes back and is like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it bigger and better. I'm gonna have all these assassins. I'm gonna have and he did it. So good for him. I'm glad he found that spark again.
Yeah, that journey, that internal journey that he needed to go on.
So silly.
This is
Giving
what
Troy
you get when you have
Bolton.
two members of Pangolin on the show. You get goof. You get
Yeah.
get silliness.
That's fair. And last month we had Kyle from Big Dumb Stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I've been having a great time.
You're on the silly
All of my
marathon.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been pretty
Me
fun.
and all my co-conspirators, my comedy partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kenneth
All
bringing
right.
his cast of goofs on the show.
Yeah.
And you know what? We love it. It's the best. Okay, last house for HHN 2006. We have Scream House Resurrection in Soundstage 23. Dare to tread among the eternally tortured souls of the caretaker's victims. Bum, bum, bum.
And this is the only house that I did for this year.
Man, well, I think you chose a good one. This one seems pretty cool.
I feel like it was cool. I have very vague memories of it. Like more just like aesthetics more than like actual details.
Mm.
Like I remember walking into like probably what was like a mausoleum, and the caretaker is like standing up above the doorway as you walk underneath.
Whoa.
And like just his old decrepit house as it's like falling apart. My memories are real foggy on this one.
I would say decrepit
I have much
old
more
house.
vivid memories of like the scare zones.
Yeah, but decrepit old house from these pictures on the website is very accurate. I would say they probably used more of those spray-on cobwebs in this house alone than both Tower of Terror and Haunted Mansion combined. There is a
They saved
cobweb.
the industry.
Yeah, there's a cobweb on everything. Lots of spooky coffins. It looks like you walk yourself through a greenhouse with hands and skulls everywhere at one point. Oh,
Yeah, I remember
mausoleum
that.
pictures. Yeah. Do you remember a hallway full of hanging body bags?
I mean, yeah, there's been so many of them, you know, there's no telling which house and which year that memory is from.
Yeah, you could be talking about 20 different houses.
Have to go back to that specific like filing cabinet in your brain and pull out the card.
Yeah, it feels like HHN's like,
Yeah.
it's like, we need to fill this hallway. What do we do? What do we do? It's like hanging body bags. It's like, you're a
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
That's it. You've done it. Yeah, and all of the scare actors that aren't the caretaker are just simply bald guys covered in blood with like peasant shirts on, also covered in blood. Like peasant shirt, black pant, no hair, covered in blood. And then there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 caretakers in this group photo, which I'm assuming is one cast.
Yeah, probably.
Silly.
And there's got to be Cindy in there somewhere.
In this photo, I'm not seeing a Cindy scare actor, but there was a photo of a doll in a coffin that kind of looked like Cindy. But
I
she,
remember Cindy in a coffin. I don't know if I necessarily remember Cindy in the house.
like as a scare actor.
I wonder if the resurrection in the name Scream House Resurrection is that they are trying to resurrect Cindy.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Because I want to say I remember watching a video on 16 years ago, and it was almost like a documentary about 16. And I want to say I remember them talking about the house and about how he's trying to take the souls from people to resurrect Cindy, and like you'll see a bunch of like dead bodies or whatever, and all these people because they're failed experiments to try to pull out the soul or whatever. So I think that's exactly what the resurrection means in this case.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Something I think we would all hope our dad would do for us if, you know,
My dad would do that.
if they could.
No.
No, but what we hope,
Yeah.
what we hope they would do.
Fair. Oh, in this catalog of photos, there's a picture. I'm assuming because the sound stages are connected. There's a picture of all of the Scream House cast and all of the All Night Die-In cast. So you have Ghostface and The Ring and Pinhead and the caretaker and the director. Very silly.
Yeah.
Oh, HHN scare
I love it.
actors. We love you guys. I love all the silly backstage photos from years past. It's so great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious, like, at what point do people feel comfortable posting backstage pictures? Because backstage photography is strictly like fireable offense. So I
Yes.
guess the statute of limitations is just like, well, I don't work there anymore. I'll post all these pictures.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they're like not even a year ago at this point, there was a trend on TikTok where Disney cast members were posting all of their backstage photos. And the trend was like, I've been fired, so here you go. It was insane to see. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see when in our history episodes those backstage photos will stop, because the statute of limitation isn't up yet. But
or it
those
kind
are all
of
the
maybe seems like the
houses.
rules were looser back here.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'll never forget that one photo of that girl in her like spooky scare actor outfit reading Harry Potter backstage. That was great.
Yes.
A good time. Okay, well, those were all of our houses for HHN 2006. I think before we continue on with the rest of the year, we should hear a message from our sponsor, Porky Vacations.
I wish to go to Walt Disney World.
When you wish upon a star.
The cryptos creak and the tombstones quake.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the port key at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
Okay, welcome back. I don't know where we went, but I'm
Hey.
sure it was great.
I saw a light
I went on a port
and I
vacation.
did not go to. Oh, wow. Where'd you go?
Hawaii.
Dang.
I want to go.
Quick trip. I'm back now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Are your arms tired? Did you fly?
Yeah, I flew all the way there. Got a good deal in the hotel
nice.
though, thanks to Porky. But...
Nice. Well, let's get into what I remember. Well, I say this, but I'm going to actually probably not have any memories of this. But the scare zones for the year. So yeah, there were 4 scare zones in the event this year. So first up, we've got the Shrek Alley, which is not used anymore. I believe that's the street where now we would find the Illumination Theater and the Transformers meet and greet. And this is Blood Masquerade. Vampires, beasts, and demonic freaks prowl the streets in search of prey.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. I don't actually remember this at all.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Gary, any memories here? Any pictures?
I just remember like vampires and stuff. We didn't spend a lot of time in the scare zones or in the streets. They were literally all just walking from one place to another. So honestly, I don't remember much about this scare zone in particular. I remember more about some of the other ones than this.
No.
Like, I think I remember the least about this one. I don't know. Maybe we didn't even go through this area.
It is in a very interesting
as I'm looking
spot.
I wonder if it was actually like Avenue of the Stars and they just called it the wrong thing here, because looking at the rest of the lineup, there isn't one listed for Avenue of the Stars. And it seems like that is, if you had 4 scare zones, that's one of the places you would put one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so hard to tell. I keep looking at like all of these daytime photos and they're really, really great photos, but they're not super, like, it's obviously on the scare actor. Like the image is the scare actor and it's really hard to see the background.
Right.
Like I can't, like it could
you
be
can't
that
see
main
Jimmy Neutron in the back.
No, I can't. And I'm so sad. I see movie posters that are on like the high up on the walls, but I don't see any ride signs. But this scare zone
if you're
looks awesome.
I feel like if you're seeing movie posters, then it is like Illumination Theater area, because the billboards on the sides of the buildings in between like Jimmy Neutron and Shrek would have been pictures from Nickelodeon and Shrek.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think it totally was. Yeah. Because there's one image. There's one image where you can see the sign for the old donkey meet and greet.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. Weird. What a weird spot. Huh. Odd.
Yeah, to neglect like that entrance area is very strange.
Yeah. But it kind of, I mean, it's giving a very minimal set, minimal scare zone version of the Vampire Masquerade scare zone we got last year. Like that is very much the vibe I'm getting. It even has like a similar logo.
Yeah.
So lots of vampire brides.
Yeah, I feel like it's a classic theme that they like to revisit every few years.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen like 2 versions of it in my time.
Fair enough. Wow, I like it though. It's cool.
Well, moving on to Deadtropolis, Zombie Siege. New York City has fallen and is now overrun with the living dead. My main memory of this is actually not of this. It's of something else that we're going to talk about later. And it's not the year my main memory of like way back when is from a different scare zone that is probably going to be in the next like 2 years that we cover. So this is another one. I'm sure that it was just like your classic New York scare zone with zombie stuff. Gary, what do you remember from this?
You're basically right. Tons of zombies, tons of like trucks. I remember. Like I want to say they had like military. I want to say they had like military guys in there too. I
Oh,
might be
okay.
wrong about that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that feels familiar.
Yeah, but
I was just saying, I wonder if the military thing is because of the other thing that was happening in the New York area, but or like they kind of just tied it all together.
okay. Interesting. Yeah, I remember like military and like zombies and stuff, and it was really cool just because like I had never experienced anything like that, and I love zombie movies. And I had always loved zombie movies, so that was really fun. It was just a bunch of like different people as zombies at a big scare zone, so tons of fun.
This gallery of images from the scare zone, I am so confused. What was
Oh,
this? Like yeah, you've all hit everything on the nose. Lots of trucks, lots of just like random industrial kind of junk, some military guys, but like the military guys are in the silliest outfits. It's kind of like if you mix together Purge and what was that one? Zombieland. Purge, Zombieland, and I don't know. Like there's guys on motorcycles. There's what I'm assuming are zombies in like clubbing outfits. And then there's Robosaurus. It's so weird.
Yeah, I'm looking at these
yeah.
pictures now too, and I don't remember it feeling that uh bring your own costume to work
Yeah. What a Mod
vibe.
Podge.
Yeah, it literally looks like they just told there was a motorcycle. I don't remember motorcycles. There was a motorcycle gang.
It's so funny because I also don't remember like really much of anything from my first year of Halloween Horror Nights because I felt like it was just such an overwhelming experience. And I only went for one night and I only saw everything once that like I just genuinely like I will look back at pictures and be like, huh, was that really there? So
Yeah.
I feel justified that you are having the same feeling of a
Like I feel like I would have remembered motorcycles in that scare zone though. I don't know.
yeah.
This was 20 years ago. My brain has smoothed over a lot since then, but okay. Yeah.
How strange.
Oh my god. Yeah, this one dude's wearing looks like sleeveless Arctic camo
Yeah.
and like a SWAT team. How I can't tell if he's part of the biker gang or the military.
But also, like, why is no one scared of the zombies? Are the zombies not attacking people? Are they? What's the storyline?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
And also, Robosaurus is there, so
hell yeah.
That I do remember. Okay, next up we have Harvest of the Souls. Here in Central Park, creatures creep in search of human souls to quench their unnatural thirst. I remember spending time in this zone. I remember a picture that me and my friends took where we're kind of just like standing right behind one of the characters and like kind of giving a thumbs up. Um, that was probably on one of my friend's MySpace pages. So like I wouldn't really have access to find it anywhere anymore. Uh, but yeah, these I thought I had memories of the zones, and as I'm reading these, I'm like, nope, I have no memories of any of this.
no.
Yeah, I remember this one, but I just remember it being like a Halloween scare zone. So I mean I didn't even really know what a scare zone was when we went, right? So I just thought it was like, oh cool, it's this is nice and spooky themed to Halloween because it was a lot of like scarecrow pumpkin stuff. So
Ah,
yeah, I didn't know what I was walking through. I just know we were like walking through that area to go. I was following everyone else. So, yeah,
That
anytime we get like a Halloween scare zone nowadays, it's like a huge deal just because like we want Halloween at our Halloween event, right? And so this was kind of one of those.
This is one of the categories
Yeah.
of Scare Zone that Horror Nights likes to do. Halloween pumpkin. Spooky Halloween
Yep.
pumpkin.
Can't
Harvest.
go wrong.
Hey?
It's an old standby.
Hey. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying hello.
Oh.
Oh, hey, Gary.
Hey.
Hey. The one of the masks that was in this zone is also one of the masks that's up in like the Mod Podge of masks in the horror makeup show. It's like it'll be on the
Oh,
Instagram.
cool.
Spooky pumpkin with like a kind of looks like he's smiling, but in a
Oh,
scary way.
Is that where he like originated from?
I think so. It's what it looks like.
I feel like they roll that mask out.
That's
once
such
every
a
couple of
classic.
years. Yeah. I wonder what was the first year
Fair.
that they ended up doing that mask on.
I like these like big. This image is This is a great image. Tall skeleton looking like props that look like arms, kind of like tree branches, and they have big pumpkin heads, and they're kind of arching over this group of people that are waiting to go through the scare zone, I assume, kind of like leading into Central Park. It's very cool. I like this zone already. It's fun.
Yeah, it sounds classic.
It looks classic. Of course, I don't know. I can't find a single. Oh, there are the scare actors. Pumpkin face guy on stilts. Good.
Yeah, I
Lots of
love a
people.
classic Harvest Halloween scare zone
Yeah.
and house. Oh,
So
what was that
fun.
awesome house?
Wicked Growth.
Wicked Growth.
What a good one.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Pumpkin
Yeah.
Lord will make his return in 35 or if we're just going to get like classic Horror Nights. Like, I wonder how far back they're going to
I
go.
hope we see him.
Yeah.
Maybe not how far back, but like how deep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, didn't Pumpkin Lord get like his own like whole thing like one of the following years? Or Scare Zone, right?
He was kind of the unofficial
Mhm.
icon of 31. Like he was out in the zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
The year that all of HHN was just Halloween themed.
Yeah, because it was
'Cause
its
it was
31st
31.
year.
Love that. That was a great
So
year
fun.
thematically.
Yeah. Although
Yeah, it felt
the
good.
park music loop it left something to be desired.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah. Okay, last zone. This is on Hollywood Boulevard, and it is Horror Comes Home. Step into a surreal world of Horror Nights, past and present.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm guessing that this is like throwbacks of like icon type characters, and maybe Cindy's out there, just kind of like all your classic HHN looks.
From these pictures, that's what it looks like. I mean, everything you could think of from years past. There's stilt actors from Terra Cruentes. There's the main guy from Terra Cruentes who kind of looks like Severus Snape to me a little bit.
Oh, Eelmouth? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I see some twins from The Shining. I see some who are the guys that go visit Psychoscarapy? White with
The
bald head
body
and a
collectors?
tux.
Body collectors.
Yes, some of those. Yeah, this just feels like that scare zone from HHN 30 on Hollywood Boulevard.
All those
and there was
banners
also like
are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, what if for 35 they do another round of historical t-shirts?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ugh.
Ooh.
I missed out
That'd
on
be
getting
nice.
those during 30 and I am kicking myself now.
Yeah, I ended up getting a bunch and the posters and everything.
I have a bunch of them.
I had to take out a
Nice.
second mortgage that year.
I hope they crush it with the merchandise this year. Yeah, this scare zone looks awesome. Just
Yeah.
like it's your classic highlight reel, which is so fun because we're hopefully going to have another one of those this year.
It's kind of the classic go-to in the Hollywood area on these kinds of years. They've done this kind of zone a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So it's funny to me that like 16 is to them like I guess now it is kind of like, oh yeah, every 5 years we do that, but for them like making it to 16 was like a bigger deal than making it to 15.
Yeah.
It's from what it sounds like.
Well, I think it was because the previous were they at Islands the previous year, and this was the first year back in
Yeah,
studios?
they were.
So I think like that scare zone was like, hey, horror comes home, we're back at studios, because I think they have like, looking at these photos now, they've got some characters that were just like part of that Islands of Adventure, like the Skull and Bones from the Marvel Islander Siege. Maybe that's what that guy is.
Oh yeah,
of course,
maybe.
I think Illmouth was part of that too, right?
Yeah.
And then like the Terror Queen, so on and so forth. So I don't know. It felt like they were just like, hey, did anybody miss this because it was at Islands last year? We're gonna bring it all back over to the studios. As if there were people that were like, I'm not going to HHN if it's at Islands of Adventure.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, there's these diehard HHN fans that are just like, well, I'll never know what they did over there because I refuse to go to Islands.
Boo, I'm not going to have my horror intertwined with Dr. Seuss.
That's so silly. So silly. And it is fun too because it looks like they've also brought back some of these costumes in more recent years. Like there's images of I'm thinking back to HHN 30 where there were those girls dancing on the side of like the Horror Nights neon sign. Those costumes are from this scare zone, which I think were from another scare zone a couple of years before 2006. So very cool.
Yeah,
just keep throwing it back.
Yeah.
If they did this scare zone today, I'd go nuts. 2006, I had no clue who any of these characters were. I was just like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I would love, since I wasn't able to go, I would love if they did another anniversary scare zone similar to the one I think they did for 25, where it was Hollywood Boulevard and there were different giant platforms, which each one of the icons like doing mini shows throughout the night. I love watching videos of that scare zone because it just feels so Horror Nights to me. And that was simply 2 years before I went. And I'm so mad about it every day.
Counter suggestion: what if they did that same scare zone but brought back all the most obscure characters from HHN? Right, so you've got David Pumpkins on one stage, you've got that weird wolf man from that movie who was there
for one night.
Yeah. Rob Zombie.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Honestly, they could do anything. Pull any random. They could have a stage full of gold miners from Lightning Gulch, and I'd be like, "Yay! Do it again!"
Oh yeah, definitely.
Give me more.
One of the best houses ever, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
These were the bugs used in the Bugs Eaten Alive house. Ooh! Yay!
Y'all want bugs? Here's some bugs.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, scare zones all sounded fantastic. However, this year at Halloween Horror Nights 2006, we had 4 shows. That's crazy. Absolutely insane.
What's that like?
HHN, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah.
What is that like? Must be nice, guys. Must be nice. But to start off, because we have so many other shows to get to, we are going to start this history episode's shows with Bill and Ted. We're just going to knock it right out of the park. It's going to be great. Gary, I'm not sure if you know, but on Rush of Fear, when we talk about the Bill and Ted show, we do in fact read the entire plot off of the fandom.com website because it is just so bananas to have all of this kind of like written out.
Incredible.
Yeah. So buckle up. Everyone pull on your yellow straps for safety. Gotta make sure we're all ready for this. So Halloween Horror Nights 2006.
I'm ready.
Bill and Ted. Here we go. Plot. With a short introduction from the movie showing Bill and Ted entering their phone booth, in a puff of smoke, it appears on stage. The two characters step out and introduce themselves as wild stallions, commenting on how they were so happy to be back in their original home. They realized that it had changed. While looking around at the changes, they were confronted by Lex Luthor, who then who they confused with Dr. Evil. Howie Mandel and Mr. Clean. Luthor told the pair his plan to use hidden missiles underneath the Sinispheres in the Universal Lagoon to destroy the park, and would take it over and create his own Lutherversal Orlando. Wow. Which includes rides such as 20,000 Leagues Under the Star Jones, Britney Spears, Baby Buggy Bumpers, and Mel Gibson's Honey, I Dunk a Fifth, Drove, Got Arrested, Bashed, oh God, okay. Bashed the Jews, Urinated in a Jail Cell, Ruined My Career 4D. That is all one title.
Holy cow. That's gotta be a typo though. It's gotta be Honey, I Drunk a Fifth. Alluding to Mel Gibson's like drunk driving thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of grammar errors on this website, so I would agree with you there. Okay, using his Krypton iPod, he summoned movie villains to help him complete his plot, but not before accidentally playing Luthor's favorite song, Beautiful, by James Blunt. First to appear was Magneto from X-Men, floating onto stage. Magneto was accompanied by CGI guy who was dressed in green spandex and who assisted him in floating and helping him to manipulate metal. Following Magneto was Silas, the albino monk from the Da Vinci Code, entering in a parody of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He proceeded to whip himself to Devo's Whip It. Next to enter was Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, who sang his own version of the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song. Outnumbered, Bill and Ted then fled to the phone booth. However, Luthor, using his Krypton iPod, turned them into women. With the two of them confused, Luthor brought out his final villain on whom he had experimented, the Juggernaut from the X-Men, who had grown women's breasts. As they were being attacked by the Juggernaut, Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swann from Pirates of the Caribbean dropped on stage, drunk off of rum. Following them, Superman, who, because of the looks of the costume in Superman Returns, acted flamboyantly gay. Next to come out was Celine from Underworld, who came out in a tight leather outfit and performed acrobatic moves. The Lady in the Water from the film of the same name, and G-Girl from My Super Ex-Girlfriend followed. However, neither wanted... Wait, what? Yeah, the grammar is terrible. However, neither were wanted as no one had seen their movies, which makes Luthor ask them to leave, with the accompaniment of losing them from The Price is Right. Sure. Last to join was Samuel L. Jackson, who was covered in snakes, warning of the snakes in the theater, parodying Snakes on a Plane. Before throwing a snake onto the ground and shooting at it, he immediately ran into their phone booth and took off with it. Oh my God. A super battle began, and the characters chased one another off stage. With Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swann left, they were still drunk, and they were made to face Magneto and his CGI superpowers. After a sword fight with Magneto's powers, Jack defeated him by getting him drunk off of rum, and then they were chased away by Davy Jones. Another puff of smoke appeared, and the phone booth came back with male Bill and Ted coming out of it. They confronted their female selves, who were confused on who they were. The males had come from 2 minutes prior to the show after being warned by Samuel L. Jackson, who'd run out of the phone booth covered in squirrels, warning of squirrels in the theater, once again throwing a squirrel onto the ground and shooting it. Weird. When he ran away, Silas came out to whip the other two pairs of Bill and Ted's. Before he got the chance to, however, Nacho Libre from the film of the same name came out from the audience.
Yeah.
When they told him that wrestling was fake, however, Silas was able to easily defeat him. Celine then came out and shot at Silas, however, missed every shot, so female Bill and Ted got tired of waiting and knocked him unconscious. Okay, 2 more paragraphs, guys. We got this. with Nacho bringing Silas off stage, Luther appeared above the pair with a rocket launcher. Bill and Ted shouted, "Look, it's James Blunt!" However, distracting him and causing him to shoot and set fire to the building, causing the race car driver Ricky Bobby from the film Talladega Nights and the Ballad of Ricky Bobby to come running out, stripping and yelling about being on fire. Out of rockets, Luther called the Juggernaut and Davy Jones to help him. With both Bill and Ted's in trouble, David Hasselhoff rode out on Kit from the Knight Rider. He defeated both enemies with a little help from Kit and left once again. As the Bills and Teds realized that it would be an impossible mission to return their female selves to their male selves, Luther called out his secret partner, Tom Cruise, to help him defeat the heroes once and for all. Tom was joined by his wife, Kate Holmes, cute, who begged them to free her from Tom and their daughter, Suri, who turned out to be the Antichrist Samuel L. Jackson, run out of the theater for the 3rd time, warning about demonic babies in the theater and lamenting about his career. And Suri's babysitter hung herself from the rafters in a similar manner to the birthday scene in The Omen. Luther finally revealed that he had only come up with his plan because he was mad at Bill and Ted for not adding them on MySpace. Okay. They explained that this was all a misunderstanding and he was happy to give up on his plans. However, Tom grabbed the Krypton iPad and still planned to blow up Universal. After a long speech where he quoted and outright named his movies, Katie kneed him in the groin and gave him the Krypton iPad back to the heroes. Luther then told them the girls would return back into guys. And this is when the finale dance number began to songs like Green Day's American Idiot and Styx's Come Sail Away. Okay, that was it.
Gary, did you see this show on your first visit to HHN?
I did.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I did.
I saw it.
And
Thoughts?
it was at the time I thought it was hilarious. But looking back on some of them now, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. It was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Different time.
Yeah, I think I also thought this was very funny when I saw it. I was 16 at the time, so I think a 16-year-old's taste in comedy is different than a 35-year-old's taste in comedy, hopefully. And I think now, in looking back at these Bill and Ted's, sometimes it's like, oh, okay, that's really clever, that's really funny. I don't think this one has anything clever in it from what you just described.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like, oh, here's a bunch of things you recognize. Which, I mean, to be fair, is one of the critiques of the new Mario movies. And like, I love both of those movies. But for this, it's kind of like, you could have done something more clever, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. And I agree with you. Some of the shows are definitely funnier. This one left a lot to be desired. But like, what else was happening in 2006?
Yeah, it sounds like they hit all the big pop culture like things that you would need to hit.
Yeah.
I do
Just
like
in a
the
weird
call-out.
way.
Yeah, I do like the call out that they're like they noticed that things have changed, because didn't Fear Factor open in like the year before, in like 2005?
Yeah, definitely. Like Fear Factor, Wild West closed, and Fear Factor opened while Bill and Ted was in Toon Lagoon. So they come back and they're like, it looks different.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, I think Fear Factor opened in like 2005, 4 or 5.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it was
Well,
2005.
I think the
Yeah.
CGI guy is my favorite part of the show. That's funny.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's hilarious that like this is like a time capsule because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, CGI is a thing that is jokeable.
Right.
You know, when it's just in everything now.
And I think the idea of like a person in a green morph suit pretending to be invisible and making things float and stuff like is a very played out joke now, but at the time it was probably like very like unique.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Fun. Well, another Bill and Ted in the
Anyway.
bag. We did it.
Yeah. Maybe the next year's will be better.
Yeah.
I do remember, so like the first year I saw Bill and Ted, I was like blown away by it. I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And every year after that, I liked it less until eventually I just stopped seeing it. So I think like in 2008 or 9, I think I did like just never went and saw Bill and Ted again until like years and years later.
Yeah.
Until 2015, I think. Anyway, let's move on to the next show, The Arrival. And this was at Mel's Drive-In, although I think if I'm remembering, I feel like it was across from Mel's Drive-In, kind of like with the lagoon at its back. Do you have a memory of this, Gary?
I don't remember where it was. I do remember seeing it, but in the like placement, I don't remember.
Yeah. I feel like it was on that like where like the Jack's Carnival show and like Academy of Villains were and stuff like that, but like maybe a smaller version of that. Anyway, nefarious darkness brings forth ashes of Horror Nights past and summons truly iconic evil. Jack, the caretaker, the director, and the storyteller join to host the greatest Horror Nights ever. Do you have a description of this show as well, Maddie? Because I probably saw this, but I don't remember it.
Essentially, it's that. Witness Darkness and his minions as they bring forth the ashes of Halloween's past and summon truly iconic evil. Jack, the caretaker, the director, and the storyteller join for the very first time and invite you all to experience the greatest Horror Nights ever. No, that's all I got.
Like, what did they do?
Kill people.
That is a great. It looks like,
I guess probably
photo ops.
Yeah. So like I remember this show pretty vividly. Actually, I don't remember who these characters were that I were looking. I mean, I didn't know at the time who these characters were that I were looking at, but it's basically the freaking devil.
Yeah.
Like literally, what's that movie? Legion, or I don't know, like giant, huge, muscly red devil. Basically, is saying, you know, like Jack. The Jack kills somebody, and the caretaker kills somebody, and director kills somebody, and storyteller kills somebody, so on and so forth. Each of them get their own little vignette in this little show. And I remember it being pretty damn cool. And literally, like, the host, if you will, was the freaking devil. And I'm like, okay, this guy's not mentioned anywhere in Halloween Horror Nights. and lo and behold, hasn't been mentioned since. I don't think we've seen like this like level. I mean, this guy is like super detailed, like Hollywood level, like costume and makeup. And yeah, it was pretty nuts. So I don't know, maybe they were like, yeah, that's like way too satanic. We can't use this guy again. We got people freaking the hell out.
Yeah.
Rock the Universe said they're gonna cancel. So I don't know, maybe that's what happened to it.
Yeah. These pictures are crazy. But it looks like just like you said, each one comes out, they do their most famous kills. So like Jack has the giant green blender. The director films a snuff film of killing someone with a toaster in a bathtub. The caretaker.
Yeah, that's his classic.
Yeah, rips out someone's internal organs while they're still alive on a table, and the storyteller takes out people's eyeballs. And then there's the Red Devil guy.
Yeah.
He's there too. Darkness.
Oh, Legend. Legend is the movie with Tim Curry.
Mm,
Yeah, and Tom Cruise. If you know that, that's what this guy. I mean, that's what I remember it looking like. Anyways, that's what this guy freaking looked like.
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the pictures yet to refresh that memory, but
He's crazy
yeah.
looking. He's crazy looking.
Well, let me check this out. See if my memory
Golly.
serves me correctly.
It kind of sounds like
That's the freaking
scare
devil.
zone.
That's literally the devil. Like, got to be the same makeup and everything from Tim Curry's in Legend. Is that a Universal picture?
That headpiece is insane. It looks so heavy. Like, Kenneth, picture, this is weird, picture Hades, red, no shirt, okay? Image, big chin,
Okay.
big muscles, big long black fingernails, and instead of having flame on his head, he has these giant black bull's horns, but they aren't going, like, out of his head 90 degrees and pointing up. They're going, like, out and forward, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
just like these giant horns. And then he has all these bangles and bobs and black shreds of clothing on him.
It is literally,
that's crazy.
To a T, the exact aesthetics and everything of Legend. Like, like, I kid you not. And guess what? Universal Pictures distributed that film in North America.
Dang.
Nice.
Next.
So you know this guy from our movie, and he knows Jack.
Somehow, somewhere in the realm of something, some universe.
Yeah.
Silly. What a
It
show.
kind of feels like they took this show and like turned it into the Scare Zone in 25. They're like, instead of like each of them coming up one at a time to do their kill, like they're just all out on their own little stages up and down the street.
But like the stage itself looks like the stage from the Carnival of Carnage show. Like that same kind of like setup.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool.
Cool. Then there's a Lagoon show, Sweet 16, the director's cut. And here you'll relive Universal's horror history in this special Horror Nights version of Universal 360 presented by the director. And this is back when Universal in the Lagoon had these like balls, like these projection spheres that they would put movie clips on. They were trying stuff, you know. Yes, a Cinesphere.
Yeah.
There was like 4 of them in the middle of the lagoon that were like red throughout most of the night, and then every now and then they would play this, just a bunch of horror movie clips. It was a while before they landed on the like waterfall projection screens that they used for cinematic spectacular. And now we do have the ultimate version with the cinesational water projection and water fountain lagoon shows.
Mm-hmm. I remember these giant spheres from like when I went to the park as a kid during the daytime. And I was always so confused by them. But then like you think Epcot, Illuminations was really popular back then. And that show has a giant sphere that comes out and does cool stuff. So like, yeah, it makes sense. It's just what a random thing for Universal to do. I love it.
That Epcot one though, they bring it out for the show. These Universal ones were just always there. Yeah. And if you like didn't stay for the end of the night, you're just like, what are these big white balls in the middle of the water? Like why are they there?
So we did not watch this show. I do remember walking past it while something was going on. They were projecting something. I don't know if it was the actual show or if just periodically they would project like other stuff onto those globes. But we didn't like stand and watch the actual like show at any like scheduled time, so to speak.
All right. Well, unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, which our listeners know we have a lot, we did lose Kenneth We're going to finish talking about HHN 2006 with our fourth and final show, which is Robosaurus, which made its fantastic return to Halloween Horror Nights for this year. Do you remember seeing Robosaurus?
So we caught Robosaurus we were there on a Saturday night. We caught Robosaurus at the very tail end of when it was doing its little show out in New York. So the extent of everything we got to see was it putting a car down and then shooting out like a little bit of fire and then going away. Still, that is not to understate the awe of Robosaurus himself or herself. I don't want to misgender Robosaurus themselves. We don't know for sure.
We don't know.
But it was incredible. So I would love to see Robosaurus again someday. I don't know if it would happen at Halloween Horror Nights. I think the only way you can see that is at a monster truck show nowadays. So, but yeah, it was really cool. I wish HHN would do like weird stuff like that again.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I love when HHN was doing the parade throughout the park during the event, and they would throw like the Mardi Gras style coins
I have
out.
a ton of those. I just gave Kenneth one from 2001 last night.
Oh man, that's so cool. I just like and we talk about it when we're doing these history episodes too. Like the things they could do back then are absolutely bonkers, and it would never be able to work now. But God, do I wish that it did, because I would love to see a parade in the 2020s of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
A Horror Nights parade, would be incredible, and to get more of those coins. I was gifted a bunch of those too. Tune into Pangolin, you could win a Horror Nights parade coin. But yeah, so I want to see them do weird stuff like that. You know, more shows, more parades, more what have you. So
yeah, one day, and there'll be pictures of Robosaurus on all of our social medias when this episode is posted. So you listeners will not miss out on seeing the awe that is Robosaurus. He's pretty cool.
It's gigantic. It's hard to state just how big Robosaurus is. I mean, it's got to be at least like 4 stories tall, something like that.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
In the pictures, they are, I mean, this might be a weird angle picture that I'm looking at, but like almost as tall as the signage for like Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon, like that Tribune sign that's on the other side where like I almost called it the Fast Pass entrance, but the express entrance to Jimmy Fallon, he's like as tall as that sign.
Yeah, so. I just Googled it. How tall is Robosaurus? And I was dead on the money. It's 40 feet tall, so it's like right at 4 stories tall.
He's so cool. I love it. What a weird thing.
Yeah.
And he breathes fire.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of New York.
Yeah. It's got to be like a safety thing. I doubt OSHA would ever approve something like that nowadays, but I don't know. Come on, Horror Nights. Let's get weird.
Give us a parade. Give us a Jack show. Bring back Carnival of Carnage. You don't need to bring back Bill and Ted. Bring back the parade. Bring back, I don't even know. Bring back the Cinespheres in the lagoon. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think that's it for HHN 2006.
Yeah, that wraps everything up.
We did it.
We did all of it.
Yeah. Man, a good time. I'm happy you and Kenneth got to go. That's so fun. What good memories you have now.
Yeah, I wish again I could revisit it now. I want to revisit every year of HHN now, as you know, with a better appreciation of it. But you know, that one's always going to hold a great place in my heart, just because of everything it introduced me to. It was a really good time in my youth. My knees were in a lot better shape. A night of walking around Horror Nights didn't feel like, you know, trekking to Mordor.
Getting hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really glad that you guys had me on to talk about it. Reminiscing.
Well, we're so happy that you could be with us. And hopefully we get to do more. If there's more years that you want to hop on and talk to us about because you were there, especially the years when you and Kenneth were doing everything that the event had to offer, anytime.
Yeah.
Absolutely open invitation.
Yeah, starting now. If you just skip 17 and 24, I've been to every other one, so I'm happy to come on for any of the other episodes, and I might remember those a little bit better.
Fair. Yeah. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you to HHN Legacy and HorrorNights.fandom.com for all the information used in the episode and all of the photos that are going to be posted on our socials afterwards. A big thank you to Gary for coming out to join us for this episode. Is there anything else that you wanted to double plug?
No, I already plugged the heck out of Pangolin and Pangolin Hanglin, and Kenneth plugs Pangolin all the time, and that's the only thing that I do. Pangolin's all that I do, so tune in on Tuesdays, starting tomorrow from when this goes up, the 14th, and hang out with us. Bring some friends, get a chance to win some rare HHN merch from around the time that we're talking about right now.
That's so cool. Oh my goodness. You'll have to send me a link or something so I can share it on the Instagram.
Absolutely.
Yay! And thank you all for listening to this episode. We hope to see you soon in the fog. Until next time, for more content, be sure to check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/rushofear and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and our brand new TikTok account, Rush of Fear Pod. Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you again, Gary, for coming on. This podcast has come to an end. Now get out.
Scram.